Everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is back to school time, so we are going to make life so much easier by getting some breakfast ready to go. We have 5 easy on the go, grab and go breakfasts for you guys, laid out for you guys in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to be making are these sausage croissant roll-ups. These are so hearty and delicious. Your family will love these. The first thing we're going to do is, in a small bowl, we're going to add about 3 eggs. And you can salt and pepper them here in the bowl, or you can salt and pepper them and flavor them up however you like once we start scrambling them up in the pan. Go ahead and mix these eggs up and just put them off to the side. We have our package of sausage that we're just going to throw into our pan, and we're just going to cook those up until they are all the way cooked through, and I'm going to set those off to the side. I have our 3 eggs that we beat up, and then I'm just going to lightly salt and pepper them. A lot of times I like to add a little bit of paprika. That's just going to give it a little bit of a flavor. And then I'm just scrambling these up like normal. Once these are all cooked, we're going to put them off to the side. We're going to get out our cutting board, and I'm just going to use these croissant rolls that I got from Aldi. I'm just going to lay them out so that I can easily put our sausage and all of our toppings right onto it at the same time. So we're first going to put just a little bit of cheese, about a tablespoon of cheese at the very base of our crescent rolls. And then I have our sausage links. Of course, you can do 2 links if you want on each one. I just chose to do 1. And then I have about 2 tablespoons of eggs, just the eggs that we beat up. And it kind of gets a little bit messy, so just be prepared for that. But these do end up really, really delicious. So they were really worth the time, and they were worth getting messy for. Okay, now that you've rolled it all up, we're going to put it in our baking sheet. And I did go ahead and spray that because I did not want that to stick to our crescent rolls to stick to the sheet. Okay, now I'm going to put this in the oven at 375 for about 12 minutes. 12 to 14 is about right, until it's just golden brown and it is cooked all the way through in the middle. And this is what it looks like after it's all done. Y'all, this is heavenly. It is so hearty, and it's great for on the go. Up next is banana oatmeal chocolate chip muffins. These are phenomenal. They are so fluffy. So if you are looking for a good banana recipe or something to use with bananas, this is the one. In this medium-sized bowl, I have 1.5 cups of flour. In this small little bowl, I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then 1 cup of rolled oats. Do make sure it's rolled and it's not the quick oats. And then go ahead and give that a good stir and put that off to the side. In a large mixing bowl, we have 2 eggs, a half a cup of brown sugar. We have our, make sure they're overripe bananas. We have 3 overripe bananas. And then we have 5 tablespoons of butter, or you can do oil. I'm also going to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then half a cup of milk, and then go ahead and give that a really good stir, making sure all those bananas are mixed through. All right, now that everything is mixed through properly, I'm going to go ahead and add my dry ingredients into my wet ingredients and give that a good stir as well until everything is nice and it looks like a cake batter or just a really good muffin batter. All right, and here I feel like I added too many chocolate chips. I called for a cup, but I would think for like this, the mini semi-sweet chocolate chips, a half a cup or 3/4 a cup is going to be plenty. This gave out a lot of chocolate chips. All right, we have our muffin tin, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour those into our muffin tin. I like to kind of do more closer to 2/3 of the way full, even 3/4 of the way full. I like my muffins a little bit on the bigger side. I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 for 25 minutes. Look how delicious these are. These are phenomenal. They are so moist, so fluffy. My kids loved them. They said it was their favorite recipe that I've made when it comes to banana or banana chocolate chip anything. And I've made plenty of recipes when it comes to banana muffins. Up next, we have some Honey Nut Cheerio cereal bars. This one is so simple to make because there's only a couple different ingredients. We have 3 cups of Cheerios. Of course, you guys can do whatever type of cereal you prefer. I also have half a cup of honey, or you can use agave or any type of sweetener of your choice. And then I have 2/3 a cup of peanut butter. The peanut butter that I'm using, it's just peanuts. There's no like fructose corn syrup or anything in it, so that's why it looks just a little bit different. And then I have half a teaspoon of salt, and you're just going to go ahead and give that a really good stir until everything is well combined. We're going to get a baking sheet out. I just did this like jelly roll sheet pan, and I'm going to try to do the best that I can. It's super sticky, so if you put a little bit more Cheerios in there, it wouldn't be as sticky, but it came out really sticky. So I'm just trying to do the best that I can by getting it nice and tight. And I want it a little bit thick because they are going to be bars. So here I'm just kind of making sure that it's going to really sink in down to that pan. I'm going to put this in the freezer for a couple hours until it's a little bit harder, and then I'm going to use a knife and just cut these into little cereal bars. These are great grab on the go. We every Friday have to go somewhere super early, so I like to have just something that they can grab real fast and enjoy in the car, and that it's not going to be super messy. These are delicious and just fantastic option for the mornings. All right, next we have oatmeal cups that you can do any type of way that you really want. I chose to make mine banana chocolate chip. So what we're going to need is 2 overly ripe bananas that are pretty soft. I need 2 large eggs, and then for sweetener I did 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup, and then a cup of you could do almond milk or regular milk, whatever you prefer, and then a teaspoon of vanilla or more if you like a little flavor in your life. Go ahead and give that a really good stir, getting all those bananas stirred through properly. And it's okay if the bananas are just a little bit chunky, that's completely fine. Next, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of flour, 2 cups of rolled oats. Do make sure you're using rolled old-fashioned oats and not the quick oats. And then I have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Go ahead and get that mixed through properly until everything's well combined. We're going to get our baking cups out, and we're going to just align our muffin tin with all of this batter. I like to make sure they're 3/4 the way full, just because this isn't going to rise a whole lot, so you definitely want these pretty full. And you can put any type of topping that you want on here. I just chose to do chocolate chips, but you can do strawberries or more bananas. You can do blueberries, whatever you really want. These are going to be phenomenal. Go ahead and put these in the oven at 350, and you're going to want to bake these for about 20 to 23 minutes. This is what it's going to look like after everything has done cooked, and let me tell you, these are really good. These are more of a healthy option, so we had these for breakfast. We also have these for snacks. I think this is a great snack option, especially if you have young kids. This is just a really good healthy option. Okay, now we are going to be making this a blueberry baked oatmeal. This is so good. This was actually my favorite thing that we made in this whole entire video. So we're first going to start off with having 2 cups of old-fashioned oats, and then in this little cup I have 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're also going to put in 2/3 a cup of brown sugar, or you can use Splenda as an alternative. I think if I were to make this again, that's exactly what I would do. That way we're not using real sugar. Go ahead and give all of that a really good stir. We're going to set that off to the side. I have a large mixing bowl, and I am going to put in there 1 3/4 a cup of milk and 2 large eggs. I also am going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, or you can put in more. I know everybody measures with the heart when it comes to vanilla. All right, and then go ahead and just give all of those ingredients a really good mix. Next, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. And then we're going to add in our dry ingredients and give that another really good stir as well. That one's just going to take probably about 30 seconds to go ahead and mix those ingredients. And then I have 2 cups of, you can use fresh blueberries or frozen. These are actually frozen, like they're legitimately frozen. And so I was just trying to stir it all together and kind of break up the chunks. That way when it cooks, you know, they're not like kind of tart. I kind of like them to be broken up and get mixed in with that sugar and with all the liquid. Go ahead and put this in an 8x8 or even a 9x9. Just make sure it's nice and level, and you can even sprinkle like a little bit of sugar or brown sugar on top if you desire. This is what it looks like after it's been cooking at 350 for about 45 to 55 minutes. This is heavenly. You can actually cut this up and you can take it on the go because it's pretty easy to just eat it in your hand. It's kind of like muffin form for sure, but this one is a huge hit. Thank you so much for watching this video. Really hope that you enjoy it. If you found value in this content, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing below. I'd love to have you here on this channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.